So Robin joining. I talked with Robin, and he can allocate some time, so at least having a look over our shoulder what we're doing with his
Okay.
and with Jelle, and maybe Jelle can be helpful for Jelle too to have an extra input. I thought so.
That's a good idea.
It's good to have him on board because he knows very much about the radiation and about the programming. So both.
Right.
So
Good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And from my side, I did a little bit work on the icons, not that much, and on the graphics. If you can see the, did you see the latest push I put for the, how you call them, the drawing out for the drawings for the graphic layout?
Yeah, I've got that. Where's my Visual Studio Code? No, that's editor. I want that. Well, it seems to work well enough. So I'm just looking at the at that draw.io drawing right now.
Yeah.
So
I made some, only what I done is basically made a basic layout from the graph.
right.
You
Yes,
see
I see
here
that.
the display in colors, and so to make a kind of blocks where we keep the data, so it's consistent. It doesn't matter what screen you're in. This is the main idea, and
Right.
it's
Okay.
completely open for any discussion. I mean, this is just one idea.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys because you're more familiar with the, like you've done, like all the build parties and
Build party.
actually I have
I think it's called workshops.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, the workshops. By the way, I have a new Safecaster. One of the bGeigieZen Nanos that I helped build a few years ago. The person just doesn't get around much, and she passed it on to a friend of hers who couldn't get it working, couldn't figure out how to get it working, and so I just basically sent out an email blast to all my friends and say anybody. And one of my colleagues who's also retired from the college, who's travels extensively, says, okay, I'll take it. So he's a new Safecaster.
Oh, that's great. That's good. And he is familiar with radiation, or
Not really, but he's technical. He used to work in manufacturing, and used to also he maintained our lab equipment at the college before he retired.
Yep.
So he's not afraid of technical stuff.
So he will be interested in the bGeigieCast too, so we can send him one, because we have to do much more testing. Jelle and me. I mean, testing has been done by Peter, me, and a few other people. But if he travels a lot, I'd like to send him one. But
yeah, sure.
Okay,
I'll ask him.
So because then he can have real-time monitoring, and we can see how it holds up in other areas. And
right. So, is there an application, like an app for Android or iPhone? There is.
iPhone, there used to be, and that's we're in the process of remaking it because the license expires and other things. You cannot find it anymore. So Apple took it off from the App Store. But on iOS, it's still there. It's called, I think, Safecast Drive. It's called.
On Android.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's quite nice. Quite good design by Eduard. Eduard, he used to be related to Medcom. Medcom is a company that makes the inspector.
Right.
From Dun. And he used to work a lot with Dun together. And he has a pretty nice interface. It works always. I mean, I'm very happy with it. Sometimes I use it, but for me, basically, I use bGeigieCast always. It's always on, and I can just take it on the go. And I don't have to upload files and things like that. I really don't like that. So
yeah, yes.
So good. Did you have time for for testing the file system a little bit more, or?
Not really. Just like last time we checked in, you can create some big long file names. You can create subdirectories. So there's really doesn't seem to be any limitations, for routine stuff. Like if you want to start creating, like a 256 byte, character long file names, that's going to be an issue. I know I had a to-do to come up with some sort of a file naming scheme to know if it was a journal file or if it was a drive, if it'd been uploaded, or excuse me, and so on. I have not had, like, basically I spent all this week basically setting up this laptop to
Yes, I can imagine.
yeah, no, so I really don't have any news to bring. I had a look at the Slack. I guess the big question is what's going on with the pulse width out of
Yes.
the
And the counts.
safe pulse.
Yes, or that's suddenly quiet because Ray Ossi and Joseph, they are working on a fix for it. I mean, for me,
Okay.
I could feel there was a big problem because if that's wrong and the red nodes in production, they cannot stop that. So they have a serious problem if it's wrong. So good that Peter did the testing. At least we know there's something incorrect on the modifications that we applied, that I applied to the safe pulse to get it. The whole problem was there were two pulses. There was a second pulse coming in low counts. In high counts, it's fine. But that was because the value was not corrected, and we're not sure where it is. If originally idea is from Alan Lind. He kind of made a board. We did Alan and me and Ray and Peter. We did kind of we helped Alan. Let's say this way. I helped Alan a lot with KiCad to set it up and other things like that. And but the design is originally he back engineered an iRover.
Okay.
By hand. I've seen it. It's kind of amazing what he's done. I mean,
yeah, that's yeah. I'm trying to reverse engineer a 3-band equalizer. It's not straightforward. So
okay,
and it's not surface mount, so it's not even surface mount.
Yeah, surface mount is a whole different story. I don't know how he did it. Probably he X-rayed it and he did some other things with it.
Oh, could be.
That's one of the tricks to do. Makes it easier. But basically, the safe pulse. Yeah, I hope we can get it solved quickly because we're using it too in the Zen, and
yes,
crucial. I think we can use an iRover. The board is designed for iRover and for the safe pulse.
Can you still get an iRover?
There's still a lot of around. Let's say this way.
Oh, okay.
And I think Peter has still quite a lot, at least part of it, and I have still a few. So if we need them, we can use them. But I prefer the safe pulse because we can just order them and they can manufacture it for us, and they're not so expensive. They are half the price of an iRover if we make it. So that's also an issue.
Yeah, I've got one here that is a spare from that workshop that I did a few years ago.
You did a workshop?
Well, that's it. Well, I had two attendees. Right, and one is still active. The other one is I basically got it back from her and redeployed it with my friend. So
that's from an workshop you did for the bGeigieZen Nano?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know you were doing that. That's wonderful.
I did that. Was it back in 2018? When Kit, that Kit company was still
KitHub.
KitHub, yes.
Yeah, from Tara. They couldn't make. I think they just couldn't make it the money from it.
No, it was just too much trouble to support.
Yes, I can imagine, especially with parts and other things, and Yes.
Yeah.
And also other, I think there are more issues, but this is one of the reasons they stopped, I think.
Right.
We never got a clear answer from her, but she just say it's not available anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's it from me. Okay, we're back.
Okay,
Grandson was looking for his book. All right, so
that's
sorry.
important. Books are important.
Yes.
That has priority.
Okay, so yeah, that's basically it for me.
Okay, for me kind of too, because I've been busy with many other things, and I'm kind of waiting what's gonna happen with the Safe Pulse, and in the meantime, I'm ordering parts for the Sens that I still have to build. And your Sen is on the way, huh? I mean,
Yes, so I'm told. That's great. And I did feed it back to Peter, saying a big thank you, and looking forward to working on it.
yeah, good, great. So it is also nice that he sent it to you, I thought. And
Yes.
it also sent one to Yella. You and Yella are the
Right. Okay, great.
I think they need it. And maybe later I will send one to Joe too, because Joe is mechanically very, very good, I think. So he can.
Oh yeah.
Surely
Okay.
we can get a list like this back for from him. With all
Oh yeah, good.
gadgets he brings. We did some workshops together when I was living in Aizu Wakamatsu in Fukushima. And I was living in an old school, and we were building parks for safecast there. So it was an abundant school, and I was building together with some other people in data center. So
Oh wow.
to set up for people, they can be trained about how to run a data center. So we got a lot of equipment donated from banking, from the crash, basically.
Right.
And we had a lot of routers and mainframes, and no, not really mainframes, like an IBM mainframe we had, and we had other stuff. But the
Right.
funny thing is, or the good thing is, it's interesting, because what we did is we took the motherboards out and we hang them in the air. So instead of forced air cooling, natural air cooling. So
That's
yeah, just hanging them. That was
nice.
very nice. And you don't need a cooling system. You just need a little bit of air going through the school. And that was an interesting project. I can show you pictures later if you want to, if you're interested.
Yes, sure. Always interested. We had one place I worked at, we had one of those huge machines. It was just a micro, it was like a HP micro, but there was disk drives and all this. And it was a small company. We had to put it in the same office as the marketing department. And every time we fired it up, one of the ladies from the marketing department would get up and start doing this. And then down.
I didn't hear you. You broke
What
up.
is it? It's like, well, whenever I hear, sorry, whenever should start doing this. Okay, my connection is unstable, so let me stop the
Yeah,
video.
no, that's okay.
And she would, right, it's like, what are you doing? It's like, well, I used to be on the flight crew, and every time I hear a jet engine spooling up, I start going to the safety talk.
That's nice. That's very good. It's kind of critical
Yeah,
to him. That's good.
they didn't appreciate it. Anyway, I'm just
Okay.
I'm gonna sign off unless there's anything else.
So I will sign up to it so we can stop, and I hope you will have
Okay.
still a pleasant evening.
Yes, it will be a quiet evening. We got the young lad we're gonna read him a story, he's gonna go to sleep and forget the rest of the evening. Anyway, have a good week, and we'll see you next Saturday, I guess.
Yeah, and we keep in touch on Slack, and I keep you posted what's going on with the safe polls and stuff. Thank you for all the feedback and the calculations you've done, and it's very useful.
Oh, no problem. That was easy. That was, so
Okay.
I just got curious.
That's true. I noticed it.
Yep. All right, take care.
Okay, bye bye. Thank
Bye.
you.